I'm lying flat on the floor of Jilin Bank with 11 other people, and there's a man with a gun standing 6 feet away demanding money from a terrified teller. His hands are shaking, his voice is breaking, and I know that voice. I know the way his left hand trembles when he's stressed. I know the silver wedding band he never took off even though the marriage ended 3 years ago. I know the scar on his right wrist from a table saw accident in 2018. The man robbing this bank is Steve, my ex-husband, the father of my 9-year-old daughter, a man I haven't seen in 3 years, a man I called 2 weeks ago and demanded money from without asking if he even had it. And I just realized that I might be the reason he's here. I work as a barista at Morning Brew Coffee next door, and in about 60 seconds I'm going to do something that will either save 12 lives or get me killed. I'm going to tell the police I know who he is. Where are you watching from today? Okay, let me back up. Let me tell you how we got here. It's December 14th, 2023, Thursday afternoon, cold and gray, typical Oregon winter. I'm working the closing shift at Morning Brew Coffee, the little shop next to Gillen Bank on Main Street. I've worked here for 3 years, since the divorce. Since I needed a job that had flexible hours so I could be there for Katie after school. Lauren, the owner, took a chance on a 31-year-old woman with no coffee experience and a lot of emotional baggage. She taught me everything, trusted me, made me assistant manager after a year. The afternoon is slow, a few regulars, some high school kids doing homework. At 2:30, I count out the cash drawer, $340 in bills and coins, put it in the bank deposit bag, and tell Lauren I'm running next door. Be quick, she says. We've got the evening rush in an hour. I grab my coat and walk the 30 feet to Gillen Bank. It's a small branch, 2 tellers, 1 manager, a few desks. I've been making deposits here 3 times a week for 3 years. I know everyone by name. I walk in. There are maybe 8 or 9 other people inside. Customers waiting. A guy filling out forms at the counter. Normal Thursday afternoon. I get in line behind an older woman with a walker. Pull out my phone, scroll through messages. There's one from Katie's school about the winter concert next week. One from the hospital billing department reminding me that Katie's surgery is in 6 days, and the outstanding balance of $8,200 is due before the procedure. $8,200. After insurance, after everything, I've been working double shifts, picking up every extra hour Lauren will give me. I have $4,100 saved. Need another $4,100 in 6 days. And 2 weeks ago, I did something I swore I'd never do. I called Steve. Steve and I met when I was 23 and he was 25. I was waitressing. He was a contractor who came in for lunch every day. Shy smile, kind eyes, terrible jokes. We dated for 6 months before he proposed in the parking lot of a Home Depot because he'd just bought supplies for a job and couldn't wait another day to ask me. We got married. Had Katie a year later. Built a life. He started his own construction company, Stewart & Sons Construction, even though he was an only child and the & Sons was aspirational. We bought a small house, weren't rich, but we were happy. And then 2020 happened. The pandemic destroyed his business. Construction jobs dried up. Clients canceled contracts. He had 3 employees he couldn't pay. Took out loans to keep things going. The loans became debt. The debt became crushing. By 2021, we'd lost the house. By 2022, he'd lost himself. He stopped sleeping, stopped eating, stopped talking to me. I'd find him sitting in the dark at 3 a.m. staring at bills he couldn't pay. He became a ghost in his own life. I tried everything. Suggested therapy. Suggested bankruptcy. Suggested moving in with my parents temporarily. He refused everything. Said he'd fix it. Said he just needed time. But time made it worse. And I had to think about Katie, about keeping her stable while her father fell apart. About protecting her from the collapse I couldn't stop. So I filed for divorce. Not because I stopped loving him, because I couldn't watch him drown and pull us down with him. He didn't fight it, barely responded to the papers. The divorce was final in March 2022, 2 weeks later, he was gone. Left town. No forwarding address. No phone number. No goodbye. For 3 years, nothing. No child support. No birthday cards for Katie. No contact at all. Except for occasional money. Every few months, $50 or $100 would show up in my account from an anonymous transfer. I knew it was him. But it was never enough to matter. Never enough to feel like he was really trying. Katie would ask about him. "Where's Daddy?" I didn't know what to say. "He's working far away. He loves you. He's doing his best." But the truth? I was furious. Furious that he'd abandoned Katie. Furious that I was doing this alone. Furious that he'd given up. 2 weeks ago, Katie collapsed at school. Heart palpitations, rushed to the ER, tests, scans, diagnosis, congenital heart defect that had gone undetected, not immediately life-threatening but serious. Needed surgery, soon. The surgery was scheduled. Insurance would cover most of it, but not all. The hospital wanted $8,200 up front. I didn't have it. Couldn't get a loan. My credit was trashed from the divorce aftermath. My parents are retired, living on Social Security. I was out of options, and I thought about Steve. About how he'd disappeared while I struggled. About the $50 here and $100 there that felt like insult more than help. About how he was Katie's father, and he should contribute. I didn't have his number, but I remembered his email, found it in old files, sent him a message. "Steve, Katie needs heart surgery. I need $4,100, your share. You owe us that much. I need it in 2 weeks or they won't do the surgery. Figure it out." I didn't ask how he was. Didn't ask if he could afford it. Didn't ask anything. Just demanded. He responded 12 hours later. 2 sentences. "I'll find a way. I promise." I didn't respond. Didn't thank him. Just waited for the money that I assumed he had because I'd convinced myself he'd rebuilt his life somewhere and just didn't care about us. Back to the bank. I'm in line with the deposit bag. The woman with the walker is taking forever at the teller window. I'm checking my phone when the door slams open so hard it hits the wall. Everyone turns. A man in a ski mask and a dark jacket. Gun in his hand. Not pointed at anyone yet, but there. Very there. "Everybody down, now! On the floor!" Time does this thing where it moves too fast and too slow at once. People screaming. Bodies hitting the floor. The security guard, old Mr. Patterson, 68 years old, been here 30 years, reaching for his gun. "Don't!" the robber shouts. "Don't move! Nobody moves! Put it on the ground!" Mr. Patterson hesitates. For a terrible second, I think he's going to try to be a hero. But he slowly puts his gun on the floor, kicks it away. Good. Good. Everyone stay down. Nobody does anything stupid and nobody gets hurt. The robber's voice is shaking. His hands are shaking. This isn't a professional. This is someone desperate and terrified and dangerous because of it. He points the gun at the nearest teller. "Young woman, early 20s, name tag," says Brittany. "You. Fill a bag, all the cash, now." Brittany is crying, frozen, can't move. "Now!" She stumbles to the drawer, starts grabbing cash with shaking hands. I'm on the floor with everyone else, face down, hands visible, doing exactly what you're supposed to do in situations like this. Don't be a hero. Don't make eye contact. Don't give them a reason to notice you. But I notice things. I can't help it. His jacket. Dark green Carhartt. Same brand Steve always wore. Construction guys love Carhartt. His boots. Timberlands. Work boots. Worn. Same boots Steve lived in. His voice, even muffled by the mask, even panicked and higher pitched. I know that voice. I was married to it for 7 years, and his left hand, the one not holding the gun. There's a tremor. Steve's left hand always trembled when he was stressed. Some nerve thing. barely noticeable unless you knew him. And the ring. Silver wedding band on his left ring finger. Steve never took his off. Even after the divorce. I took mine off the day I filled the papers. He kept his. My brain doesn't want to accept it. Can't accept it. But my body knows. Every cell knows. The man robbing this bank is my ex-husband. Outside, I hear sirens. Someone must have hit a silent alarm. Police are coming. This is about to get so much worse. The robber, Steve, hears them too. He panics, waves the gun around. No, no, no. Nobody was supposed to call. Nobody was supposed to... Sir. It's Mr. Patterson. Hands up, voice calm. 30 years dealing with people. Sir, the alarm is automatic. It's not personal. But the police are here now. Best thing you can do is put the gun down. Walk away from this. I can't do that. I need... Steve's voice breaks. I need this money. I don't have a choice. Officer Benson's voice comes through a megaphone outside. This is the police department. The building is surrounded. Put down the weapon and come out with your hands up. Nobody needs to get hurt today. Steve backs toward the wall, gun still pointed at Brittany, who's frozen with a half-full bag of cash. Tell them to back off. Tell them I'll hurt people. Tell them... Sir, you don't want to hurt anyone, Mr. Patterson says. I can see that. You're scared. Whatever brought you here, it's not worth this. You don't know anything about what it's worth. I'm lying there with my face pressed to the cold tile floor, and I'm making a decision that's either going to save everyone or get me killed. I lift my head slightly. Steve. His whole body goes rigid. The gun wavers. Steve, it's me. He looks down, sees me, and I watch the moment he recognizes me through the mask. His whole body language changes. The gun drops a few inches. Jules? His voice is so quiet I barely hear it. The nickname he hasn't called me in 3 years. Yeah, it's me. Why are you... He can't finish a sentence. I was making a deposit. From the coffee shop. Steve, you need to put the gun down. I can't, Jules. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't have another choice. Officer Benson's voice again from outside. We need someone to come to the door. Let us know everyone's okay in there. Mr. Patterson looks at me, sees something in my expression. You know him? Yes. Who is he? I take a breath, make the decision. He's my ex-husband, and I can talk to him. I can get him to surrender. The next 20 minutes are chaos. Officer Benson is skeptical. The bank manager is terrified. Mr. Patterson advocates for letting me try. Eventually, they patch me through on his phone. This is Officer Jim Benson, lead negotiator. Who am I speaking with? Julia Stewart. I'm one of the hostages. I know who the suspect is. He's my ex-husband, Steve Stewart. I can talk to him. I can get him to surrender peacefully. Silence. Then, Ma'am, that's not protocol. We can't let a civilian... He won't hurt me. He won't hurt anyone. He's desperate, not violent. Please. Let me try before someone gets hurt. More silence. Voices conferring in the background. Finally, all right, but you wear a vest. You're wired. And if anything goes wrong, you hit the floor immediately. Understood? Understood. They send in a vest and a wire through the door slot. Steve lets them. He's not pointing the gun at anyone anymore. Just holding it, standing against the wall, looking at me like he's seeing a ghost. I put on the vest. They can hear everything I say. I stand up slowly. Steve, it's just me. Can I come closer? He nods. Doesn't speak. I walk toward him. Everyone else stays on the floor. I stop 6 feet away. Can you take off the mask, please? His hand shakes as he reaches up, pulls off the ski mask, and I see him. It's been 3 years. He looks 20 years older. Gaunt, stubble grown into an unkempt beard. hair too long and greasy, eyes sunken. He's lost maybe 40 pounds. The man I married was solid, healthy, full of life. This man is hollowed out. Steve. My voice breaks. What happened to you? He laughs. It comes out bitter and broken. What happened? Everything, Jules. Everything happened. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. You know what's going on. You emailed me 2 weeks ago, told me I owed you $4,000 for Katie's surgery. You want to know where I've been? What I've been doing? He's not yelling. His voice is dead. Flat. I've been living in my car, Jules. For 18 months. I've been working day labor when I can find it. Washing dishes, moving furniture, whatever pays cash because my credit is destroyed and nobody will hire Steve Stewart, the failed contractor. My stomach drops. Steve, I didn't know. Of course you didn't know, because you didn't ask. You just demanded. And you know what? You were right to. Katie's my daughter. I should contribute. I should help. But I have $340 to my name, Jules. $340. And my daughter needs $4,000 in 5 days. So tell me what I'm supposed to do. I can't speak. Can't breathe. I've been sending you money, he continues. Every time I had anything extra, $50, $100, whatever I could scrape together. I know it wasn't enough. I know it looked like I didn't care. But it was everything, and it still wasn't enough. The surgery, I whisper. This is about Katie's surgery. She needs me and I have nothing. Nothing. His voice breaks. The gun waves. Everyone on the floor flinches. What kind of father can't help his own kid? What was I supposed to do? Watch her die because I'm a failure? Steve, she's not going to die. We're going to figure this out. But not like this. This isn't the answer. Then what is? Tell me, Jules, because I've been trying to figure it out for 3 years and I've got nothing. I lost the business, lost the house, lost you, lost Katie, lost myself. And now I'm losing the one chance I had to actually help her. He slides down the wall, sits on the floor, still holding the gun but loosely now, crying. I wasn't going to hurt anyone, he says quietly. The gun isn't even loaded. I couldn't actually do that. I just needed them to give me the money. I just needed to help my daughter. That's all I wanted. I crouch down, 6 feet away still, hands where he can see them. Steve, listen to me. Katie needs you, not money, you, her father. If you go to prison for this, she loses you forever. Is that what you want? She already lost me, 3 years ago. No, she didn't. She asks about you every week. Where's Daddy? When's he coming back? Does he still love me? I tell her yes. I tell her you love her. But Steve, if you don't walk out of this alive, or if you go to prison for 20 years, that's it. She loses you for real. He looks at me. Those eyes I used to know so well. Why would you help me? After what I did, after I abandoned you, after this. He gestures around the bank. Because I did this too. I pushed you here. I demanded money without asking if you had it. I assumed you'd rebuilt your life and just didn't care about us. I was angry and I lashed out and I didn't think about what you might be going through. So yeah, you're holding a gun in a bank. But I'm the one who put you in a position where you thought this was your only option. That's not your fault. And this isn't all yours either. We both made mistakes, Steve. Bad ones. But Katie is 9 years old and she needs her father. So I'm asking you, put the gun down, walk out of here, face whatever consequences come, and let me help you figure this out. Not for you, not for me, for her. Steve looks at the gun in his hand, looks at me, looks at the terrified people on the floor who he never wanted to hurt. How? He asks. How do I fix this? I don't have the money. I don't have anything. And that's when I make a promise I'm not sure I can keep, but I make it anyway. My boss, Lauren, She owns Morning Brew. She's been talking about renovating, expanding the shop, adding a kitchen for pastries. She needs a contractor, someone good, someone she can trust. Jules, I haven't done construction work in 3 years. You're still licensed, right? I mean, yeah, but then you can do this. Lauren trusts me. I'll vouch for you. She'll hire you. The job's worth probably 18, maybe 20,000. She'll pay you up front, half to start, half on completion. That's 9 or 10,000 right now, today, enough to cover your share of Katie's surgery. Steve is staring at me like I'm speaking another language. Why would she do that? Why would you do that? Because Lauren's a good person who believes in second chances. And because I should have... My voice breaks. I should have checked on you, Steve. At some point in 3 years, I should have made sure you were okay. And I didn't. So let me do this now. Let me help. Officer Benson's voice crackles in my ear through the wire. Ms. Stewart, we need this resolved. What's his status? I look at Steve. What do you say? Do you trust me? One more time? He's quiet for a long moment. Then, slowly, he sets the gun on the floor, slides it away from him, puts his hands up. Okay, he whispers. Okay, Jules. I trust you. I stand up, back away, speak clearly for the wire. He's surrendering. The weapon is on the ground. Nobody's hurt. We're coming out. What happens next moves fast. Police swarm in. Steve is immediately cuffed, read his rights, taken into custody. I'm questioned for 2 hours. The other hostages are interviewed. Mr. Patterson gives a statement. Everyone is released except Steve. He's charged with armed robbery, false imprisonment, and a list of other crimes that add up to 20+ years in prison. But there are factors. No shots fired, no violence, nobody hurt. Gun wasn't loaded. Clear mental health crisis. Surrendered peacefully. I give a statement about his circumstances, about Katie's surgery, about how he's not a criminal. He's a desperate father who made a terrible choice. It takes a week. Steve gets a public defender who argues for reduced charges. The prosecutor, looking at the evidence and the circumstances, agrees to a plea deal. Probation, mandatory therapy, 500 hours of community service. He has to plead guilty to attempted robbery and reckless endangerment. He gets 5 years probation. No prison time as long as he complies with all conditions. It's more mercy than most people get. And it's entirely because of the specific circumstances and because no one was hurt. The hardest part is telling Lauren. I do it the next morning. Walk into Morning Brew before opening. She's doing inventory. I tell her everything. The robbery. Steve. My promise. You told him I'd hire him? Lauren is staring at me. Julia, he robbed a bank. With a gun. While you were inside. I know how it sounds. But Lauren, he's Katie's father. He's not a bad person. He's someone who hit rock bottom and made the worst decision of his life. And I pushed him there. That's not your fault. I know, but we need the money for Katie's surgery anyway, and I'm asking you for a favor I have no right to ask. Hire him. For the renovation. Pay him up front. Give him a chance to save his daughter and himself. Lauren is quiet for a long time. Finally. You've worked for me for 3 years. You've never asked me for anything. Not time off. Not favors. Nothing. You show up early, stay late, cover shifts, treat customers like family. You're the best employee I've ever had. Lauren, so I'm going to say yes. Not because I think it's smart, not because I trust him, but because I trust you. And because I believe people deserve chances to prove they're more than their worst moment. But Julia, if this goes sideways, if he flakes or steals or hurts anyone, that's on both of us. You understand? I understand. Thank you. Thank you so much. Steve starts work 2 days before Katie's surgery. Lauren pays him $9,000 up front, half the job cost. He uses it to pay the hospital. The surgery happens and it goes perfectly. Katie is released 3 days later, healthy and smiling and asking when Daddy is coming to visit. Steve visits on Christmas Day, supervised. I'm there the whole time. It's awkward at first. Katie hasn't seen him in 3 years. She's shy, but he brings her a stuffed bear, sits on the floor with her, apologizes for being gone, tells her he loves her. She cries. He cries. I cry. It's not a fairy tale reunion. Katie is cautious, confused, needs time to trust him again, but it's a start. The renovation takes 3 months. Steve works carefully, methodically, shows up every day, does beautiful work. The expansion transforms Morning Brew, new kitchen, seating area, outdoor patio. Lauren is thrilled. During those 3 months, I watch Steve slowly come back to life. He finds an apartment. He attends therapy twice a week as required by his probation. He eats regularly, gains back weight, cuts his hair, shaves. He doesn't try to get back together with me. Neither of us mentions it. That bridge burned a long time ago, and we both know it. But we learned to co-parent. Awkwardly at first, then more naturally. By March, Katie is spending every other weekend with him. By summer, she's asking if she can stay with him during spring break. By fall, Steve has completed his community service. His therapist writes a letter saying he's made remarkable progress. Lauren recommends him to other business owners who need work. He gets 3 more jobs. By December, 1 year after the robbery, Steve registers a new business, Stewart Construction Services. Small, careful, building slowly. I'm closing up Morning Brew when Steve walks in. I haven't seen him in a week. He's been working on a job in the next town over. Hey, he says. Got a minute? Sure. Coffee? Yeah, please. I make 2 cups. We sit at the table by the window. It's dark outside. Christmas lights up and down Main Street. 1 year, Steve says. I know. I keep thinking about it, about how close I came to destroying everything. If you hadn't been there, if you hadn't recognized me, if you hadn't talked me down. Steve, let me finish, please. He takes a breath. I blamed you for a long time, for the divorce, for leaving when things got hard, for giving up on me. I did give up on you. No, you didn't. You gave up on us, on the marriage. But you never gave up on me. You divorced me to protect Katie. You did what you had to do. And then, when I was at my absolute worst, when I'd given you every reason to let me rot, you saved me. You risked your life. You vouched for me. You got me the job that paid for Katie's surgery and gave me a reason to keep living. He's crying. Doesn't wipe the tears away. I owe you everything, Jules. My freedom. My relationship with Katie. My life. And I don't know how to repay that. You don't repay it. You keep being Katie's dad. Keep going to therapy. Keep building your business. Keep showing up. That's what I need from you. What if I want to give you something anyway? He pulls an envelope from his pocket, slides it across the table. I open it. Inside is a check, made out to me, for $8,200. Steve, what is this? It's what I owe you. The surgery cost. Your half that you paid. I've been saving every dollar I could for the past year, working extra jobs, living cheap. It's not everything you spent on Katie over the years, not even close, but it's a start. I don't want your money, I know, but I need to do this. I need to prove, to myself more than anyone, that I can take care of my daughter, that I'm not the guy who had $340 and a gun, that I'm better than that. I look at the check, at Steve, at this man who is broken and is slowly, painfully becoming whole. Okay, I say. Okay, thank you. No, thank you, for seeing me, for seeing past the worst thing I ever did, for believing I could be better. We sit there in the quiet coffee shop, 2 people who used to be married and aren't anymore, who hurt each other and saved each other, who will never be together again but will always be connected through the daughter we both love. We did okay, I say finally. Didn't we? Given everything. We did okay. Yeah, Steve says. We did. Would you have done what Julia did? Would you have risked everything for someone who hurt you? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this story reminded you that we're all one bad day away from our worst selves and one good choice away from redemption, hit that subscribe button. Because the world needs more stories about how complicated and beautiful and terrible and hopeful we all are.